Just a couple of housekeeping. Your microphone will be muted whilst you're in the call, and your video will be turned off as well. You won't have the opportunity to change that, I don't think. But if you've got a question, there is at the bottom of your screen, there should be a Q&A box. You can put questions in there and we'll come back and ask panelists either individually or as a group. We'll ask those people to answer your questions. There's also a chat box that you can put, if you need a sort of technical help or you need something to tell us that we don't know, somebody in that process will actually respond to you. At the end of the webinar, you'll be redirected to a webpage that hosts all the presentations and the contact details of all of the panelists. And if at any point in time you miss any of the detail or you need some information, you can go to the you can email hello@edugrowth.org.au. Couple of little points about who EduGrowth is. We're a national not-for-profit. We are Australia's education, technology and innovation industry hub. And we exist today because of the vision of a number of universities and foundation partners. So Charles Sturt, Deakin, Griffith, La Trobe, Monash and Navitas came together in 2016 to seed the idea that Australian education can impact learners around the world. Today, our motto is pretty simple. It's about connect, collaborate and accelerate. So we're here to connect the entire EdTech ecosystem, and we're trying to develop the whole thing and make an economic impact for it. And today we're really excited to be able to announce that QlikView is joining us as a strategic partner. I have James Biddle with us. James, you might want to unmute and join us.
Yeah, thanks, David. And, you know, it's, we're thrilled to have been able to partner with you, and things are obviously very different today as to what they were when you and I shook hands a couple of months back. And
well, we're technically not allowed to shake hands anymore, social distancing and all that.
Exactly. But, you know, we came at it from the opportunity to be able to collaborate more effectively and to get better outcomes. And I think, you know, having spent day one in the trenches with my two sons at home today, and seeing the way that things are working together at the moment, and the opportunities for us and the responsibilities on us as tech companies in the education space to make things work better together. Yeah, it's a huge priority. And yeah, the timing, as awful as it is also a really good task for all of us to really pivot and get things working better than they currently are. So
fantastic. So James, I really do want to say thank you to you and to QlikView for joining us as strategic partner. You're one of, I think we're up to 8 or 9 strategic partners today, which are really core to our organisation, ensuring that we can do the work we do. So thanks very much, and we'll see you again in a few minutes when you talk about QlikView.
Thanks, Dave.
What's going to happen this afternoon for everyone is we're actually going to run through a couple of companies who are going to showcase their product. Then we'll take questions from people in the audience, and that's where the Q&A box comes into it. After that, we'll then have another 2 companies, some questions done to companies, and we'll ask all panelists to come back, and we should be finishing up just after 5 o'clock. So without further ado, if I can ask Kim, if you want to maybe start your camera, start your video, and I'll hand over to you.
Thank you. I will share my screen now.
You want to turn your camera on, Helen?
Yes.
Sorry, Kim?
Yes. I will turn the camera on so you can, okay, so
we can see your screen.
You can see my screen? Great. Great, that's all I want. All right, so thank you very much for asking me to be a part of this. So Mired Online is a tool that was created by teachers for teachers, and it's a brilliant tool to facilitate this whole concept of distance education. And it has over 35,000 users globally. So how does it work? What it allows you to do is to create and deliver individualised learning for students, where you can easily track them, give them just-in-time just for me feedback. It makes their learning visible because you can see their entire learning pathway. What it allows students to then do is learn at their own pace. They can remotely access this because it is web-based. They complete their work online. They can also choose how they show their learning, but it very much supports them to develop those skills to become independent, self-managed learners. So what does it look like? So this is a class of students here, and this is just showing part of Sarah's individualised learning pathway. And each of those blocks can be a lesson or a series of lessons. And then the teacher can come to the library here and find what they want and easily allocate to an individual student or to a whole class.
Just one sec, Kim, can I just interrupt for a second? Your screen has gone into presentation mode as opposed to full screen. Are you able to show us the screen that's got, I don't know if you've got multiple screens happening or not?
Okay, yes. So let me just come out of that and
Go full screen.
hang on.
No, we're still seeing another screen.
Yes, I can see that. I'm just trying to figure out how to set it to full screen. Hang on. Apart from clicking down the bottom here, unless you've got any other suggestions.
All right, you'll just have to continue on with as you're going. So I think you may have multiple screens, so we're not seeing the right screen, but
Okay,
we're just running out of time. I'm sorry.
So what do you want me to do? What would you like me to do?
Just continue as you were. Continue as you were. We're running out of time. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I will do that. So the green shows that the child has completed 100%, and you can set individual due dates if you choose to. You can come in and move your individual blocks around and individualise so each child has their own learning pathway very easily. And then what does it look like on the screen? It's like a Word document, so you can easily type in content. You can add any type of resource, some video, document, image, whatever, huge range of different question types, and some of those can be set to self-mark. And then you can easily come into the marks book here, and it can, all the information can live in this online marks book. Anything with a little pen indicates that it is requiring marking, so you have that at your fingertips. And then what you get as a school or organisation, you get access to this global library, you get access to your own school or organisation library, and every teacher and instructor has their own personal library. Because ultimately what it allows you to do is facilitate this whole distance education experience and maximise the expertise of people in your organisation. The same concept holds true for teachers as learners. You can individualise. We've got lots of organisations using the tool to individualise the professional learning of their employees and staff, track their progress, and be able to view their entire learning pathway. So here is a class and a group of teachers, and you can see Chris Beckman's individual pathway there that has been given to him. So if you would like to learn more, you can see myedonline.com/rapid start to get more information about the product. And I'd now like to hand over to Helen Pryor from Education Perfect.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, thank you, Kim. Okay, let's see how we go. Can you see that?
Yep, perfect.
Awesome. All right. Well, it's my great privilege to be here today representing Education Perfect. And some of you may be aware of EP already, but for those of you who aren't, EP is an online learning platform used by over 1 million students in more than 100 countries. We offer thousands of customizable curriculum-aligned lessons across almost every subject, and combine that with really powerful data insights to ensure that learning can stay personalised even when teachers are having to work remotely, like the situation we find ourselves in now. Now, one of the key benefits that we're finding with EP at the moment is that it is one platform. So teachers have their content, their lesson creation platform, their homework, assessments, and data insights all in one place. And so as a result, we're not asking teachers to suddenly juggle a variety of online platforms or apps. Everything they need is in one place and it's easily accessible. So it's just it helps to make that transition to remote learning so much easier. And of course, for students and parents, and I'm one of those at the moment, it's hugely beneficial to them as well, not having to juggle learning in lots of different places. So with EP, it's all in one place. Now, the data that EP offers makes sure that teachers can still differentiate effectively, they can still be supporting their students, and make evidence-based decisions even when they're operating fully online. So, for example, teachers can set a task or a piece of homework on EP, and then they can monitor their students' learning live. When a task is complete, teachers can see at a glance how their students have gone, question by question, and then use that data to inform their planning. You can even set really closely monitored assessments online using EP, and then instantly compare your pre and post test results to see the student's learning progression. EP actually will even automatically suggest remediation tasks for students, which makes differentiation so easy, even when you're working remotely. And I wanted to take some time to talk about well-being, because I know this is on many schools' minds at the moment as they strive to sort of support their communities at this time. One of the benefits of EP is it has many features embedded into the platform that really ensure that students and teachers stay connected. So, for example, there are inter-class competition, fun games, and the ability to quickly instant message each other, which ensure that people stay connected. And the platform's easy compatibility and integration with video conferencing helps ensure that those real-world conversations are still taking place. And look, we're hearing some fantastic feedback from teachers all over the world, and they're really saying that this ready-built content, the self-marking smart lessons that EP provide, and the self-marking features, for example, are really taking a load off them at this challenging time and supporting teacher well-being too. So at the moment, and in order to kind of limit the disruption to student learning, EP is offering free access to all schools until the 1st of May. You can easily sign up here at epforlearning.com. It's very quick. And look, we're incredibly proud of our fast onboarding process. In the last 10 days alone, we've enrolled 150,000 students, actually a little bit more than that, 5,000 trials happening this month. So yeah, we've got a very hard-working team in place that are making this happen. And all schools that are using EP also benefit from support from teacher consultants like myself. So we are available via email, via phone. We're running Zoom PD sessions and support for teachers using EP. And just we're really committed to ensuring that every school gets the most out of EP as quickly as possible. All right, I'm going to stop my screen share. Thank you so much for listening and take care. I'm going to pass you back to David, I think.
Stay with us, Helen. And Kim, if you want to maybe turn your video back on and unmute yourself, because we've got some questions for you.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Let me pull some out from here whilst we're waiting for Kim to join us. Question for you, Helen, is do you do online training and things like that with schools to help them get started?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. Yes, so we have teacher consultants throughout Australia, New Zealand, and even based internationally. So I'm actually based in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So we have teacher consultants all over the world, literally, that can provide Zoom PD sessions or through Hangouts or Google, Microsoft Teams, whatever your school is comfortable with, and offering faculty support, whatever is required. And
whilst we're talking about content, do you provide content or can teachers use their own or both?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. So we have a bank, it's around 35,000 lessons that are there ready to go. But teachers suit their tech, so use EP to create their own.
And I've got a couple of other questions for you, Helen, here. And Kim, I'm not sure if you're with us.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And I'm wondering if you can give us a bit of an idea how long it's going to take to get the site up and running for schools, Kim.
We can do it as quickly as 24 hours, and that would be giving them the Excel document to load in their students and upload it, or we can do that for them, and that would take maybe 2 or 3 days.
And within your platform, can you differentiate instruction by different students within the
Absolutely.
same classroom?
Well, as you would have seen from the screen, the whole thing was differentiated. So it's really up to the teacher. They can determine each student's individual learning pathway very easily.
Okay, I'm just going through some questions here. And again, also another question for you. What training comes with the platform, Kim?
We put the training into the global library. So there is training, and that will just be self-paced. You can copy that then straight into your organisational school library. What is brilliant about Mard Online, it has a very limited menu structure, so it's incredibly quick to learn, but the training will be there. But then we can also provide training with our instructors through Zoom meetings. It's very easy.
Okay. There's a couple of questions that I'll send off to you individually, which are really around pricing or things like that. I don't necessarily think we want to talk about pricing in this environment right now. Okay, I think that might be it. We'll come back to some of these questions later in the Q&A. So thanks, Helen, and thanks, Kim. I'm going to ask James to come and join us now, and he can talk to us about the QlikView product.
Sure thing. Here we go. So QlikView is an educational video platform, cloud-based. We've been around since 2003, and we produce our own videos and we write our own software. It can be accessed anywhere at any time. I'm going to show you 2 angles of it. The first one is our secondary, and then I'll show you our primary product. So when you land on the dashboard, and I'll do just a bit of a walkthrough from a teacher's perspective, we've immediately got our curriculum mapping tool. So say I'm a geography teacher, so we cover all subject areas and all year levels, and it starts filtering through. And I want to go for year 9, and it's filtering. I can even go down to Substrand, even right down to the curriculum code. So in the space of 15 seconds, I've got educational video content that matches the outcomes of this curriculum code. Let's pause it there. On the right-hand side, you can see all of these resources ready to go, along with the videos. I've got some that I'll show you in just a moment. The libraries, as I said, we cover all subject areas. In secondary, we've got 2,760 videos. They're the videos that we produce and the videos that we license. We have agreements with over 70 different producers around the world. We also can access free-to-air TV. So we record everything that goes to free-to-air TV and we make it available to you. So you can do a keyword search if you're looking for something contextual. We can look at channels if you know the program that you want. For example, ABC, Today, Media, Watch Finish at 2 p.m. It's there, so I could use that immediately with the students. Additionally, we've got the Exchange, and the Exchange is basically a YouTube for teachers. Everything in here is educationally relevant. As you can see there at the top, we've got a nice widget on teaching remotely, which we've had to pivot fairly quickly to produce content on that, but we're supporting the 4,000 schools that have QlikView in doing that. So this is a curated library of content that has been made by teachers that's from free-to-air TV and Foxtel across all subject areas, including thousands of feature films. So that covers secondary. If I just jump over now to primary. In just a moment, I'm switching the screen that I'm sharing. So primary is a bit of a streamlined version of the secondary product. There are some key differences though. So instead of having all of that behemoth content, that 40,000 plus titles in the exchange, we actually curated all the primary relevant programs into there. So if I'm a primary teacher, I can click on libraries, broken down into the year groups, KLAs. So say I'm looking for maths, measurement and geometry, time, and there I have it. All the videos and resources on time, ready to go. We also have a feature where you can see the little orange marks here. So we actually produce interactive videos for everything that we release. And that's where you can put a layer of questions over any video. So it takes it from a bit of a passive experience to an active one. And important now. So these are the results delivered to you. You see the percentage of students who attempted, the number of attempts per student, the time of day they're completing it, their performance as a cohort. So we can see here, this class struggled with question 5. And then we can go down to individual student rankings. So student 3 got 1 out of 6. Why is that? We'll click on student 3. So in the orange is where they've watched, and where it's black is where they haven't. So we can see that student 3 hasn't watched the whole video. If we go back here, we click on student 5, we can see they've watched the whole thing.
I might need to get you to wrap up with James as well.
Yep, no problem. I can leave it there. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, we've got some questions in a minute, so we'll come back to you in a moment. So maybe, I think we're now handing over to Adam from Literacy Planet. Are you with us still, Adam? I'm assuming that's yes, because we're seeing a screen. Here we are.
Yes, there we go. All right, so with my screen there, so I'm Adam MacArthur from Literacy Planet. We're all about English literacy here. So what, with us as a business, we are purely focused on building the core English skills in students. And so we're aligned to 66 curriculums around the world, including all the Australian ones. We go all the way from K to 10. And while we originally started as a K to 6 program, we've seen that real need for a program that caters for those students in those early years of high school as well, where they've missed some of those elements, particularly around grammar, comprehension areas that we apply. Got great content around there. We've been going for 10 years with thousands of exercises. Real core strength of our business is to make engaging content for all different year levels, be time saving for teachers, but provide that differentiated independent learning, as well as that data to really understand what's going on in your classroom. So it's business been going for 10 years. We've got over 1 million students in 70 countries. Our focus has been on English-speaking markets initially, but as we've now gone into many markets around the world where English is the second language, and not only in schools but also language centres and tutors. And we're seeing a bit more of a trend towards those language centres and tutors. With us around engagement, I'll show you some of our program in a second. A key part of what we do is Word Mania competition, this fun word building competition that we get thousands of schools and hundreds of thousands of students participating around the world, including with places with Ministry of Educations around the world, including Saudi Arabia. So we've got offices in Chicago, London, and Australia, really driving that sales and selling that message with this booming demand for English that we see across the world. So about us as a program and how we're different is really around our comprehensive subject coverage. So we cover the phonics, sight words and spelling, all the way through reading, comprehension and grammar, and have hundreds of exercises for each of these areas per year level. But that strength is our comprehensiveness, and across all those different curriculums. So you can search by those different 66 curriculums and find what you're looking for. And then we give you the opportunity as an educator to use in different ways. You can assign work, you can follow our guided learning. We can be used as an instructional tool, as a supplementary tool as well. And a lot of this is driven by that highly engaging content that drives that intrinsic motivation of students, with that rewards and gamification element, within our program. But we're very conscious of making sure it's time saving for teachers, including things like customized spelling, lists to be able to work with your students, and detailed reporting on student improvement. So to give you a sense of what our program looks like, you can see some of the screens that we've got here. Some the younger year content with our phonics, examples of our phonics activities through sight words and spelling, but also things like grammar and comprehension activities in that older interface with readers for different year levels, and then again, some really nice reward elements that really drive that student improvement. And we've differentiated this for older and younger students as well. So within our program, for us, it's all about data to be able to show improvements and those insights, to not only show activity, but also across class and student areas, but also those insights to really showing how the student's improving. And really, this is something that spending a lot more as we work across all those different geographies, and certainly within Australia, is a different type of reporting levels that are required for each environment. And I said, a big part of us is understanding how our program works. And we've been working with PwC, where they've taken our 10 years of data and 500 million rows to help us understand how our program works best. And so you can see on this chart is really see, particularly for those students that are under, or below their level, shows, you can see that rapid improvement, using our program. And this is by enabling students to work at different levels. They might have to go down a year or two, or sometimes 3-year levels, get that right level, and then work their way up through our guided learning, or with a teacher assigning that exercise. And again, for those students that are performing at that high level, it pushes them along as well. And I think for us, our heritage is about supporting distance and remote learning as well. And certainly in this environment, we've seen, given a lot of our customers have already had schools closed in places like Hong Kong and China, the US, rolling out now, we've also conscious of this and prepared a series of checklists, for parents, because we're seeing a lot of concern from parents, but also for schools and how they can be ready. But we have lesson plans that we can assign within the program as well, so they're automatically there. But also webinars, online training, and parent and teacher guides as well that we provide. So that's my quick summary of Literacy Planet. Certainly on our website, email address there to contact for us, or myself personally to find out more.
Fantastic. If you can stop your screen, and maybe James, if you want to come back and join us as well, because we've got a whole bunch of questions. Whilst James is joining us, I'll ask you some questions that we've got here, Adam. So when someone's assessing literacy products and they're looking at essentially some of your competitors compared to you, that was my phone. I'll just get rid of it. So when people are looking at your product and other products, what are the key differentiators for Literacy Planet?
Well, I think you've got to start with curriculum alignment. Make sure it is aligned to the curriculum, so you are teaching things that are aligned to what you need to teach. But I think it's really important to have something that's comprehensive, so you can have one program that spans across multiple different areas. You don't need a reading program or a spelling program or a phonics program. You can have it all in one place. But the other thing for us is we've seen with our customers is have multiple year levels. As we know, it used to be you go 1 year, if you've got a year 3 class, you want to make sure you've got year 2 and year 4. We see that variation is widening, particularly with ESL students. So you want to have a couple of year levels above and below. And so that range is really, really important.
And the natural next question is, who's doing the scaffolding? Is the teacher doing the scaffolding, or the system doing it for them, or both?
So our program does that. So we've got guided learning paths through there, but also, and this is something we released a month or so ago, is an adaptive learning path that does that based on this pre and post test of the students to really guide them through that, their own individual learning path.
And fantastic. Just stay with us, because the same question is a very similar question to you. But James, do you integrate with other LMS and learning content systems that schools may have?
Yeah, so we've got integrations across the whole board for learning management and library cataloging systems. So it's very easy to share, find content across the school for staff and students.
Can I just make sure I understood that? So you're saying that there is some sort of MARC record that goes into school's library system? Is that what I understood?
Yeah. So we have MARC records available. We also have direct integrations with systems like Oliver and Access It. So QlikView's content is completely discoverable within those catalogs. And then from a learning management perspective, we obviously have plugins so you can add QlikView content, and we're just about to release the new Canvas integration as an example that actually feeds the interactive results into the gradebook.
Okay, fantastic. And again, a similar sort of question to you, Adam. What about integrations into learning management systems or learning content system?
So we haven't done that to date. Our program is a complete program in itself. And so we're with our customers, how they tend to use that is that they log in and use Literacy Planet to drive that whole learning journey, through there. So we haven't done that yet.
And what about time to set up from, hey, like I want to use this and I want to actually get started? Do you have single sign-on systems and things like that, or do schools need to set up individual classes, student and teacher accounts?
So we need to, we can provide you with a class to set up yourself, or in most situations we end up with a spreadsheet or some kind of class denomination as well to enable us to put that in a class, and typically takes less than a day to do that.
Okay, cool. James, similar sort of question?
Yeah, look, we can do manual accounts, but the majority of ours are single sign-on, which is pretty seamless. And as I noticed when my year two, came home with his New South Wales DET login and password glued to a piece of paper the other day, the logins are out there. So single sign-on.
And actually, there is actually a really quite genuine question here with the single sign-on systems. Are we seeing anyone's single sign-on system getting stressed by the number of users that are single signing on from a million different locations?
Not us. We had a record day yesterday, but no.
Okay. Let me have a quick look here. Let me come back. Just a final question for you, James, around, do you have content in languages other than English?
Yes, we do. We've actually produced several series. So we've the most recent ones being German and Japanese, but yeah, we cover many languages.
And again, Adam, I don't know if you've got any content that's in anything other than English?
No, so what we will allow to localize is we can allow the instructional layer to, where the teaching, this is what the lesson is about, but where our focus is around English. And I think the demand for our product is around, they want to learn English, but whether that's with an Arabic, layer or a Vietnamese instructional layer, but we haven't done that.
Fantastic.
We've focused around English.
Cool, fantastic. All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll have you both back in about 15 or 20 minutes for some panel questions as well. And I think we're now going to ask Nikki Bonus from Life Skills Go to come and join us. So if you want to start your camera and your video, Nikki, we'll get going with you in a moment. Here we are. And just unmute as well. There you go. All right, I'll fade into the background as well.
Thanks so much, David. Just give me 1 second. I'll just share my screen. There we go. Share screen. Share. So my name is Nikki Bonus. I am the CEO and founder of Life Skills Go. Life Skills Go covers the HPE and social emotional wellbeing frameworks. We're going to be addressing how we've adjusted and edited our platform right now for remote learning. Life Skills Go is an online blended learning platform that provides curriculum-aligned and evidence-based resources and lessons. All of our lessons are age-based and stage-based. We're an education company that have been around for over a decade, that's worked hand in hand with principals, executives, and teachers to be able to work at developing a technology platform to deliver these classes. We have a whole holistic approach to wellbeing. As I mentioned before, it is a blended learning platform. So not only are there stage-based lessons in there, there is also the ability for physical activities, brain breaks, mindfulness, relaxation to be sent out. All of the lessons have interactive games, quizzes, videos, as well as visibility for teachers, principals, and executives of insights into not only the students' understanding of the content, but also their wellbeing over time. Excuse Excuse me for 1 second. The dashboard is incredibly simple for remote learning. This dashboard would be the dashboard the teacher would be seeing. So they've got their classes, their curriculum, their reporting, and their students. Our setup is incredibly simple and very fast to get going. The ability to have visibility for executives and for principals or for wellbeing officers in a remote learning environment also allows them to be able to see who's delivered the class, when they delivered it, and how it was completed. There is a chat function for individual classes to teachers for remote learning. So if a class is going through, a student can chat with their teacher at a designated time, and that function can be turned on or off. You can set up a whole unit of work, and that can be completed remotely. So one body of work can be completed in a class or at home. Those units are simple to assign, either by a teacher, a stage leader, or a whole school. All of the classes are curriculum aligned, and each teacher will be able to see detailed reporting for each student, as well as when they completed them, and be able to mark them as well. The way that the platform grows with a student is we start with kindergarten with our 6 characters, and by years 3 and right up to year 6, not only does the content change, but the characters also grow with them. We're on the cutting edge of future-focused learning, and we cover off not only the Cassell framework, skills for 21st century learning, but also the Australian general capabilities and the New South Wales curriculum. All of this is reported on the back end of the platform for access for teachers as well. We've also got teachers' wellbeing covered, and in the teachers section, we have a teachers' wellbeing access point so that they can get help to their own wellbeing as well. We have a thorough help desk, and our help desk is not only through our Sydney office, but we also have wellbeing officers that are available to answer calls and support as well. What we're doing from now until the 2nd of May is we're offering free access with no onboarding costs for whole schools to be able to sign up. If you head over to our website at lifeskillsgroup.com.au, you'll be able to easily submit a form. We also have individual offers for teachers on our website as well.
All right, thanks very much, Nikki. I appreciate that. I think you're going to hand over. We're going to hand over now to Mandy.
Mandy from Makers Empire. Thank you. I'll just mute myself.
I think you need to stop sharing, Nikki. That's it.
Hi everybody, I'm Mandy Dimitriadis from Makers Empire. I'm the Director of Learning. Makers Empire is a 3D technology education company based in Adelaide. We have a vision that we'd like every child to be able to be a creator, innovator and problem solver so that they can make their world better, wherever that world might be. And our mission is to develop children's creative confidence and their design thinking skills. And we do this with our fun and easy to use 3D design software. Our core product at Makers Empire is Makers Empire 3D, the world's most fun and easy to use 3D modeling software. Our software is free to download, specifically aimed at 4 to 14-year-olds and available on all platforms, including Windows, iPad, Mac iOS and Android. We package our software up together with our teacher dashboard, which is a web-based tool to support teachers bringing learning to their students through 3D design. Through our dashboard, teachers access professional development, class management tools, and our teaching and learning resources. We also offer professional learning, particularly for groups of schools. What makes Makers Empire's 3D modelling software unique is that it's one of the only 3D modelling tools specifically designed for children. A lot of the other 3D modelling tools marketed for young people are simplified versions of more technical CAD products, whereas ours was designed from the ground up for 4 to 14-year-olds. It's more than just 3D design software. It provides an immersive, fun and safe learning environment where students of all skill levels are motivated to create and learn, collaborate and share. We borrow from game-based learning to provide motivating things like rewarding progress and allowing collaboration and participation in positive interactions. In our dashboard, you'll find over 150 curriculum-aligned lesson plan ideas. When I say curriculum-aligned, this is curricula around the world, including Australian curriculum and the New South Wales syllabus. Through our dashboard, teachers can manage their classes, download designs for 3D printing if that's what they choose to do, and be supported with a range of resources, case studies and videos. Our learning programs and learning activities aim to teach students design thinking skills. We think design thinking is a really great problem-solving methodology or process that's going to equip our children with a skill set for solving problems and dealing with new situations into the future. And we use 3D design as a vehicle for that. Maker's Empire by nature is digital and cloud-based, so it naturally fits in any remote or learning at home situation. However, over the last couple of weeks, the Maker's Empire team have been working really hard, adding value and developing some new resources to support teachers and students in the current situation. What we've developed is our Learning at Home course, which has more than 90 curriculum-aligned design missions. We've made this easy for students and parents to access at home and really easy for teachers to create and assign engaging learning tasks, leave feedback to the students, and to assess the work that the students are doing online. We've developed a pack and easy to follow instructions for teachers, and I've just put the URL up there, www.makersempire.com/learning-at-home-teachers. So I encourage you to download our resources there and have a look at the new program we've developed for learning at home. As a company, Maker's Empire is gaining traction around the world. We have well over 1 million designs created in our software each month by over 1 million users.
Thanks, Mandy.
Okay.
We've got some questions for you, so I'm going to ask Nikki to join us as well, but if you maybe can turn off your screen, Nikki can join us also. Whilst you're doing that, Mandy, we have a question here. Just, can you give us a really simple idea of how teachers would use the Maker's Empire product in the fact that they're not physically together? How are they going to do that online?
Okay, so the products that I just talked about, teachers can assign a task to their students. It might be something like design a house that's going to your dream house. So they push that out through our dashboard, and when the students log on to the Maker's Empire app, they'll get a notification that their teacher has assigned them this challenge. So everybody goes and designs their dream house, and then teachers can see who's completed that in the dashboard, and they can see the students' designs.
And the next logical question for me is, do you connect to other sort of dashboards and learning management systems that teachers are using and accessing and interacting with?
Yes, we are integrated with Google Classroom and other platforms as well.
Okay, fantastic. Stay with us because I'll come back to you as well. Actually, I will ask you this question before I move on. Can students work in groups to create projects while they're online?
Students can collaborate on their designs, and you can set settings so that students can see each other's designs, either from the class or the school. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Mandy. We'll stay with us again. Nikki, if you want to unmute yourself. Got a couple of questions about logins to the platform, and also so let's start with that. How do students log into the Life Skills Go platform from home?
Yeah, thank you, David. Really good question. So students can be assigned their login from their teachers, either via a QR code or also their personal login. So it makes it very simple for their parents to also be able to access it at home.
Okay. And the question here is, are these lessons focused on individual students? Are they differentiated? And how do you respond, or how do you address special needs?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question. That's a great question. So one of the things that a teacher is able to do is, due to the reporting and also the emotional wellbeing reporting that will come up regularly when they're using the platform, if a teacher sees that a student needs to be assigned a certain body of work, say managing large emotions, managing anxiety, or if things are coming up, the teacher can actually designate that unit to a specific student. So as they're running through, what we often find is, or what we often find in an abnormal world right now, what we have been finding in a very unusual environment right now, is that schools are setting up their set standard scope and sequence that they need to run during the term. They're issuing that unit out to the students. But then if a student has additional needs, that unit or that body of work can also be assigned to that student. The regular mapping of what's happening with that student can be measured and managed on a daily basis if the teacher's using this reporting tool for their emotional wellbeing as well.
Just had another question pop in there, which is, can you just confirm what's the URL for the product?
Thank you. It is www.lifeskills.group.com.au.
I'm going to do everyone a favour here. I'm going to put it in the chat for everyone so they've got it. Actually, how can I do that? Yes, I think I can for everyone. So what is it again? Life Skills
Group.
Yeah.
.com.au.
All right. Okay. All right. And let me just mark this question as answered so that I don't come back to it. Okay, so maybe what we might do is ask all the other panelists to come back and join us, because we've got some sort of broad generic questions and we can start to wrap up. Thanks very much, Mandy. Thanks, Nikki. You guys can stay with us. We've got James coming back. We've got Adam coming back in. We've got Helen, I think, is with us. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, here's Helen's here. I don't know if Kim's still with us.
Yes.
Looking in my list. Yes, Kim. Okay, great. All right. So I've got a couple of just sort of generic questions, broad questions that I'll ask each of you. I'll go around in a simple example. I do have one very specific question, and I don't know if this is possible, so I'm going to ask the question. You guys can work it out. Literacy Planet. Is there a connection between Literacy Planet and the Education Perfect platform? Adam.
No, not at this stage. And I think certainly we're focused really around the K-6 space. I know Education Perfect is well used in the high school, the high school market. So there's kind of a natural kind of across there. Certainly, we're an English-focused platform, and from what I see with Education Perfect does more subjects than other than English.
Okay, fantastic. QlikView, James, how often are you adding new content to the platform, and especially at the moment?
So the content that we produce and license every 6 weeks, and we send out the newsletter regarding that. But to the exchange and TV content, that's being added every day by us and by teachers.
No one's asked this question, but I'll ask. Do you have some COVID-19 videos that explains COVID-19 and coronavirus to kids yet?
Yeah, we've actually got a playlist, David. So we've got you covered.
I need it myself.
Yeah.
I can't listen to any more politicians tell me about COVID-19. I might listen to a teacher give me a scaffold approach to it. All right.
Sure, we can shout you a login now that we're partners, mate.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Sounds good. Question for EP around content and curriculum alignment. I know that you said you're around lots of places. What content are you aligning to?
Yeah, great question. So we've got our fantastic content teams who have built curriculum aligned banks for New Zealand and different Australian states. We've also got aligned content for the UK curriculum, American Common Core, IB Middle Years Program, and the Cambridge Middle Years Program as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'll just finish with the following question, the last question. If there are any others, people can just put them into the Q&A list. And that really is around what sort of special offers that you have at the moment. I know some of you mentioned certain offers to certain dates and all that sort of stuff, just to sort of consolidate it. And I'm just going to literally go down the list. Mandy, you want to start? Do you have any sort of special promotion that you're running at the moment?
Yes, we are providing a 4-month free trial, which will give teachers and students full access to everything for 4 months.
Fantastic. Nikki?
Sorry, we will be providing full free access until the 2nd of May and no onboarding costs. So we'll be assisting schools to get them set up and up and going until the 2nd of May.
Fantastic. I think I saw something from you, Adam. I don't remember.
So for us, we've got certainly to the start of May. There we've added, for existing customers to add as many students as they want, for that period, and certainly for new customers who want to try it out, through that period, an extended free trial.
Fantastic. Helen?
Yep, so EP has opened up access to all schools until the 1st of May with extensive teacher support during that period as well. And
I think, James, you said something as well.
Yeah, that's right. So we've contacted every department, Catholic body, independent peak body as well in Australia, and we're offering free QlikView for any schools that don't have it for an initial period of 30 days, but that'll be reviewed throughout any close downs.
Fantastic. And Kim, what about for MyEd Online?
Yes, we got the free onboarding, certainly free trials are available, and then there's a small fee per student once they decide to use it.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys, there are no more open questions for us. So what I'd like to do is thank everyone who participated today. Mandy from Makers Empire, Nikki from Life Skills Go, Adam from Literacy Planet, Helen from Education Perfect, James from QlikView, and Kim from MyEd Online. Thanks very much for doing it. As you exit this meeting, you will, I think, be dropped onto a page where you can download each of the companies that participated, their slideshow and presentation. We'll edit up this recording in the next day or so and put it out. So if you want to go back to anything, you can see it as well. So thanks very much, everyone, for participating.